Good morning. Today's topic is Caparidaceae family. It is in the third semester of botany. In this topic, we will deal about the systematic position of the family and the distribution of the plants, some plant names, habit and habitat, the vegetative characters, the floral characters, the pollination mechanism, and the economic importance of the family. Coming to the systematic position of this family, it belongs to kingdom Plantae, subkingdom Pindrogamia, division Spermatophyta, subdivision Angiospermae, class Dicotyledonnae, subclass Polypetalae, series Thalamiflorae, other parietal with parietal placentation. All the members are showing parietal placentation. The family Caparidaceae. Coming to the distribution of this family, the plants are distributed in tropical regions. So this family is represented by about 46 genera and 800 species. Of these common genera which are distributed widely are Clium species, Caparis species, Gynandropsis, Creteva. Some plant names are there here. The Clium gynandra, which is otherwise known as Gynandropsis pentaphylla, with pentafoliate leaves. Clium viscosa, the stem shows viscous nature. The Caparis aphylla, which loses the leaves at an early stage. Caparis spinosa, Creteva religiosa, Creteva adansonii, and Mirva, Caparis horrida. Coming to the habit and habitat of this family, most of the members of this family are mesophytes, so which live in moderate temperature and rainfall conditions. So they have the tendency to grow more in semi-dry regions. So though they are mesophytes, they have that tendency. Most of the members which belong to this family are herbs only. Sometimes some shrubs are also they are very rare, a few. Shrub, for example, Caparis species are shrubs. Rarely tree. Only one tree is there. The Creteva is the tree present. It shows woody nature in this family. There are several species of Caparis which are weak-stemmed and climbing shrub-like structures, and they are climbing with the curved stipular spines. So here the climbing organs are spines, which are look curved stipular spines, which holds the support and climbs over the support. So Nicoparis aphylla, it's a leafless shrub. So though it is having leaves at an early stage, immediately after the formation, at an early stage only the leaves will be wither away. So it becomes leafless. Then in this family, only one woody climber is there, that is Merva. Coming to the root system, in this family, all the members are having a normal taproot system since it belongs to class Dicotyledonnae, so which is an important characteristic feature of Dicotyledonnae, presence of taproot system. But here the taproot system has no modification, it has no modification, it's normal taproot system. Stem is aerial, which is present just above the earth surface. Erect, it grows erect, and majority of the members herbaceous and branched. But sometimes the stem bears hairs or spines with mucilage. So it gives a sticky outer surface for the plant. In Caparis species, stem is hard. Coming to the leaf, there is alternate phyllotaxy. So they are otherwise known as spiral phyllotaxy. The arrangement of leaves are in alternate manner. Each leaf is a stipulate and petiolate with stipules in the axils, and it has a stalk, so it is petiolate. Sometimes these stipules may be hair-like or glandular or spine-like, depending upon the species. In some species, it is hair-like green color structure. In some, it is mucilage secreting glandule-like, and sometimes it may be hard spine-like. Then palmately compound leaves are present with reticulate venation in some species. So in Nicoparis aphylla, leaves fall off at an early stage, just I have mentioned earlier. Coming to the floral characters, the inflorescence comes first. The inflorescence is axillary mostly, or sometimes it may be terminal. The inflorescence types is racemose type inflorescence. In some examples, it is corymb-like. In some example, in Kadaba indica, this is solitary and axillary. In Kadaba indica, in the axillary position, the single flower is present. Except this, all in all other species, this is racemose type. In Caparis, the flower buds are superposed manner. They are present one above the other. Coming to flower in general, the general characters of the flower, all the members of which belong to this family, they have the flowers with bracts, so it is bracteate flower. Without bracteole, so ebracteolate. There are four floral parts are present, so it is complete flower. There is gynoecium and androecium, so it is bisexual, and the flowers are regular, so actinomorphic with a symmetric arrangement, structure, and number. Then tetramerous, but here the floral parts are four multiples. So they are tetramerous. Perianthine two holes, so it is dichlamydeous. They are in different color and nature, so they are heterochlamydeous. All the four floral parts are arranged in a cyclic manner, so it is cyclic. The ovary is above when compared to other floral parts, the position of the ovary is superior, so it is hypogynous flower. So this is a general description of the flower. So the flowers, there are exceptions where flowers are rarely zygomorphic in Caparis aphylla. In Caparis aphylla, an example, the flowers are asymmetric, or partial symmetry is seen, though, so it is zygomorphic. In Caparis zeylanica, flowers are having serial buds in their axils, superposed serial buds are present. Uh, Wherever these stipules are present, they are leaf-like in Cleo. Uh, Here, the tripalmate leaf-like stipules are present here. So, bracts are present in Cleome gynandra. They flowers show both androphore and gynophore. So, it is commonly known as gynandrophore combinedly. Androphore is nothing but a stalk which bears androecium. Gynophore is a stalk which bears gynoecium. These structures are formed due to the extension of the axis in between the petals and androecium, and between the androecium and gynoecium. So they are called androphore and gynophore. They look like the stalk of the androecium and also the stalk of the gynoecium. So they are called androphore and gynophore respectively. Coming to the flower in detail, so calyx, since it is a tetramerous flower, sepals are four in number. These sepals are not fused, so polysepalous. They are arranged in two holes of two each. Outer two holes of sepals are they are present longitudinally on the axis. Inner row of sepals are present. They are present transversely on the axis. So they are in the cross-shaped arrangement. So outer surface of the sepals are covered by hair-like structures. So hairy nature. In all the members, estivation is valvate estivation. Coming to the flowering detail, corolla, the inner roll of perianth, the petals are four in number, so polypetalous. They are clawed, they have clawed nature and cross shape, yellow or white in color. Here, in its valvate estivation in Cretiva, in some species, in Cleome species, it is imbricate estivation. Androecium shows stamens, numerous stamens. In majority of the examples, androecium shows um, numerous stamens, but in Kadaba indica, four stamens are present. In Cleome gynandra, six stamens are present. These six stamens are tetradenous in nature. That means two stamens are short, four stamens are long. The short stamens are outside, long stamens, four stamens are present in the middle. This is called tetradenous nature. In each stamen, anthers are dipicous with the two lobes, dipicous, and they are fixed at the base. The filament is fixed at the base of the anther lobe, so it is called basifixed. These stamens are facing towards, anther lobes are facing towards the gynoecium, so it is inclosed. So they have it androphore and shows longitudinal lesions. Uh, in majority of the plants, nectary glands are present. in between the corolla and antecium. Coming to the gynoecium, here the carpels are two in number, so bicarpellary. These carpels are fused, so it is syncarpus. By the fusion of these carpels, a single chamber is formed, so it is called unilocular. But in some cases, these unilocular ovary, superior ovary, becomes tetralocular, so bilocular. So it is due to the formation of false septum called replum. There are many campylotropous ovules and parietal placentation. So sometimes unilocular ovary becomes bilocular due to the development of false septum called replum. Here the style is very short and terminal in position just above the ovary. Stigma is normal capitate one. The gynophore is present. The pollination is, there is no specific mechanism, only by insects. So the flowers are attractive, so it is insect pollination. Here the fruit is, after pollination, fertilization, the ovary becomes fruit, ovules become seed. The fruit is siliqua. A characteristic fruit of this family is siliqua, which is common in all Cleome species, but in Cretiva it is berry. Coming to the economic importance of the family, this family includes medicinal plants. Uh, for example, Cretiva religiosa bark is used as laxative. Uh, the seeds of Cleome gynandra are used to kill the ringworms in the stomach in the small children, kids. In Caparis decidua, from this plant, the bark is taken and the decoction of this bark is used in the treatment of cough and asthma. The Cleome viscosa leaf extract is used in the treatment of earaches. There are some ornamental plants, Criteva adnata, Cleome spinosa, and Caparis spinosa. They are grown in the garden. They give, they increase the beauty of the garden. There are some weed plants also, Cleome viscosa, Cleome gynandra, Caparis spinosa, Caparis aphylla, Cadaba indica, Caparis decidua. So the floral buds here are used in the preparation of pickles. Some in Caparis decidua, the floral buds are used in the preparation of pickles. This is the diagram which represents the Caparidaceae family, the twig with pentafoliate leaves, and there is a stem with there are leaf-like stipules present at the axillary region. At the tip, there are axillary corimbos like inflorescence is present. Unless the flower shows the pedicel, the stalk of the flower, where in between the petals and stamens, the pedicel extends to form androphore. From androecium and the gynoecium between this internode is extended to form gynophore. So gynophore is the one. The ovary shows parietal placentation, style short, stigma capitate. In the floral diagram, there is imbricate situation in the calyx region, the valvate situation in the corolla region. There are 6 stamens, and here they are free. In the case of ovary, parietal placentation is present. So this is about the family Caparidaceae. Thank you.